Here we are with Terry Thatcher. Terry, thank you very much for joining us on the podcast. How are things?
Grand. Thanks for having me.
No bother at all. You ready to talk a little bit of shit about backyard wrestling? Embarrass yourself
Oh, of
a bit?
course. Yeah. Sure.
This podcast
It'll be a
actually
little bit
came about.
different.
That's the thing. It is. It's going to be a bit of crack. But this podcast came about because I had a conversation with you on Twitter about backyard wrestling, and I got
Yeah.
for this. So that's what we're here to talk about. Before we do that, how are you feeling not wrestling for the last few months?
It's a bit weird. Obviously, whatever has to be done and all. But yeah, it's strange kind of not breaking up my week with having like a training class in the middle or not having shows or anything to look forward to. But I was only like when lockdown started, I was only literally getting back because I'd taken a few months off at the end of last year, the start of this year. I'd taken a few months off to be at home because Linda was going through some rough patches during the pregnancy. So I said I'd stop taking bookings for a bit. But then just as I came back, the world collapsed.
It's always the way. But I think it's going to be amazing when it comes back, isn't it? Like it's going to be insane. I think OTT fans in particular up in Dublin seem to be just fucking craving it at the moment. That roof's going to fucking blow off the place. Like,
it's going to be mental. The atmosphere alone is going to be so insane.
But that's high production value. That's good stuff. We're not here to talk about good stuff. We're here to talk about bad stuff. So you did a bit of backyard wrestling yourself?
I did. Back before I started training and a little bit after I started training as well.
What age were you talking?
What was I? Well, I've been doing obviously been jumping around. I come from a big family. I'm the seventh out of 8 kids, so there's I've 3 older brothers, and me and my older brother Barry, we do a lot of wrestling around and stuff like that. And, there's a few stories of me eldest brother Noel challenging me and Barry and all of our friends to just get into the garden and he'd wrestle us all. And he wasn't holding back. So you've got little kind of 13-year-old me getting backbreakers and power bombs onto the grass, which it wasn't pleasant, but it was fun. It was a bit of laugh. It was painful, but it was a bit of laugh.
When you were doing it, was there ever any organization to it? Like, you hear a lot of stories of people had companies and booking meetings and all this kind of stuff for their backyard. Lads kicking the shit out of each other, or did you have a plan?
Eventually we did. Me and one of my mates, I think this is kind of how it all stemmed, where it started from. Me and one of my mates, my mate Ken, we decided to do a wrestling match out my back garden because for some reason, whenever someone was getting rid of a mattress, it would end up out my back garden, and we'd be out there slamming each other and practicing doing the Bubba Ray Dudley and Jeff Hardy back body drop, where they'd throw you miles up into the air, and I'd always take it.
So no different wrestling career then, really.
Yeah, pretty much. I always try and incorporate that back body drop in there somewhere.
So,
but yeah,
are you taking big bumps onto it? Besides that, are you going off high objects, sheds, roofs?
Yeah, every now and then. Yeah, I had a cold shed out in my back garden, and I'd always drop a big elbow off of there or off the back wall or whatever. But me and my mate Ken, I happen to have a camera, and we said, oh, we'll see if we can do a match, and we'll record it this time. And we did that, and then afterwards we started kind of coming up with ideas, and me brother Barty got involved with us, and Foxy was around at that time as well, and a few of my other mates from around the area, and we just started kind of meeting up every Sunday, and one match just turned into two, and then two turned into four, and then we had just like a nice little kind of setup out my back garden. And after doing it a couple of times, and then we started coming up with characters, and then we started coming up with storylines, and eventually we said, this could be like we could maybe turn this into an actual thing. And that was about as far as the conversation on that went. Like it was just me and my mates getting together on the weekend and throwing each other around them.
And you said there about characters. What, like, I love backyard wrestling characters are my favorite thing in the world. They're the best. They're always excellent. Like, what kind of characters were there? Were they copying off the television, or were you kind of putting your spin on it? What way were you doing it?
It was kind of more copying off the TV. I was Enigma, which
big Jeff Hardy.
No prize for guessing who I was copying off. Yeah, like I had I had like all like skateboard elbow pads and stuff like that, and wrist guards and stuff, and I'd do, because we had this coal shed and there was a hole in the top of it, so I would do this special entrance where I'd climb up through the coal shed.
Class.
And jump off of it. Then I think I was using chop suey by System of a Down, and I'd wait until like
when you had someone come out to chop suey.
Yeah, so I was doing that, and eventually I changed it into Before I Forget by Slipknot.
Class.
And yeah, so I was doing that. We had my brother Barry, who it's funny with Barry. Barry is he's a big Undertaker fan, and he's a big like whenever he makes himself in the SmackDown games or whatever, he was like 6'8" and about 340 pounds. Now Barry is about 4 foot nothing. So he'd always want to be the big guy. He was the oldest in the group, but like he always want to be the big powerhouse guy. But like, you know, he'd be giving you choke slams and you're getting 2 feet off the ground. He's hurting himself trying to give people power bombs and stuff like that. Like, yeah, because if you pick me up, like if you bend me over to pick me up for a power bomb, I'm still like, you know, nearly the same height as you. So,
what was like? Did you have a company name?
We came up with the name OWA, which was Outdoor Wrestling Association, because we weren't backyarders. We didn't want to be backyarders because backyarding was a dirty word.
You were outdoor wrestlers.
Yeah. So we happened to be out a back garden, but like that was strictly coincidental.
And when you're doing this, you said earlier on that you filmed it. Did you start to film everything you did, or was it just a once-off kind of a thing?
Whenever we had a camera, we'd film it, but a lot of the times we didn't, or someone would forget to bring it or wouldn't charge it.
Yeah.
But it was a case of, well, I'm not going home to get it. Well, fuck it, we're all here, so let's just do some matches and we'll know what story it is. So,
when, you do film it, where's the footage going? Is it just for yourselves, or is it going online?
Yeah, it was just for us, really. I may still have an old tape somewhere, some of it on it. So I don't know. Maybe if if I can figure out how to convert it, I might release it onto YouTube or something.
That would be amazing.
Especially find it.
We need that. Very Thatcher versus Foxy in a backyard or an outdoor wrestling match. That's what you want.
Yeah.
So you were talking about having entrance music and stuff. Like, I think you're about the same age as me. I think.
Yeah, 22 now.
Yeah, same age as me. So, so there wasn't really phones to play music off at that stage.
No,
You're
no.
playing it off an actual ghetto blaster, basically.
Yeah. We had a radio, and we'd have it plugged into my kitchen through the kitchen window. We had an old microwave out in my back garden as well, so we'd use that as the bell, so the ding.
That's class.
Yeah, like back in the day as well, like we'd always, because my family had the biggest back garden on the road. Out of all my mates, we had the corner gaff, so we had like the side entrance. So we collect a lot of rubbish and stuff. Not rubbish, but like stuff that people be getting rid of. It would somehow end up in my back garden because we'd be storing it there for Halloween for the bonfire.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'd always end up having like a mad collection of stuff.
Class.
Just littered throughout my back garden. Like we had an old VCR, and pretty sure somebody got bashed over the head with that. We had the microwave, and at some point there was a big fridge as well that we'd gotten a new fridge in my house. So we took the old fridge out, and that was the weapons locker. So we'd have like old bacon trays and stuff like that, and somehow we got our hands on a folding chair. We had like one of the boys brought around a ladder as well. That we eventually put the good use. But yeah, we had loads of little bits. Once or twice, yeah. Just not proper injured, but like once or twice, a few of the lads got hurt. Yeah. One of the boys might have bumped his head in the ground or whatever. There was one time, one of the blokes, guy called Darren, his wrestling name, he was big into John Cena, and this is when John Cena was in his Tug Life phase. So his name is Darren O'Brien, so he was DOB or DOB McChain. So he had like this shitty like bike lock or something. He'd bring out for his chain, and one of the other boys had it was like a knockoff 50 cent spinner on a chain. Yeah, so he was he'd come out as his name was Phil, and he'd come out as Vanilla Ice, and it'd be Vanilla Ice and DOB. But Darren actually he got pretty hurt one of the days. He was having a match with my brother Barry, and we'd set up the back garden in a way that we took all the rubbish. So we'd have like a fridge on its side, and then we'd have like chairs and stuff all lined up. So that would be like not ropes, but it would be the kind of cut off section of the back garden. So one of the days we for some reason we had a big axe as well, and we'd just fucking around out the back garden, and someone put the axe through the fridge, and it left a big slice on it. And Barry and Darren are having this match. Barry throws him over the fridge. Darren accidentally rolled over on his back and proper sliced through his t-shirt and cut his back up. It was I really hope he got tetanus shot or something, because that fridge had been used and abused.
Christ. I wonder why you put yourself through these things, don't you, as a teenager?
That's it. When you're a teen, when you're a teenager, you don't give a shit. Like, it's just, I'll deal a swanton off my wall onto a very thin mattress, and yeah, it'll hurt, but I'll be grand. I'd shit myself at the idea of trying to do that now.
That's the thing. Like, if you were working somebody in a wrestling show and they pitched you, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to throw you over a fridge, and then we'll do a swanton off 12 feet. Oh, you'd go, no, that's not happening.
Yeah. I'm not getting paid enough for that. Sorry.
You mentioned a few of the other characters there. What were there any others? Like, were there any mental characters in it?
There was a few others. Like, we made Ken. He he'd always have a laugh with it, and yeah, so we're talking around 2004. So he came out as not Kenzo Suzuki, Kenzo Nadal. We had one of the boys who lives across the road from us, from my ma's gaff, and we had this whole storyline where we'd have a storyline owner,
Yeah.
and his kid got involved in it, and his this was Gary from across the road, and he comes in and he's the trust fund kid, Gary Carmody, and he's supposed to be the son of the owner and stuff like that. Most of the other guys who were involved, it was just like they'd show up on the day and I'd go, all right, you'll be such and such. Your name is Paul. All right, you can be Paul Punishment, and which ended up becoming a recurring joke because whenever he'd have matches, he'd never get any moves in. So he'd be, you're Paul Punishment. Oh, right, because you take punishment. Right, now I get it.
I think that's a brilliant gimmick. I think that would work.
It was an accident, but it worked. Who else was there? There was a couple others, like my mate Greg. He wanted to call himself Gregorick Tatum, and then we joined him up with Phil and Darren, and they were going to be the Chain Gang. So they'd all have rap names. So you'd have the OB, you'd have Vanilla Ice, and then you'd have GTO. It was Gregorick Tatum. So yeah, we did a couple of little silly ones. But yeah, I think
it sounds like you're having a laugh with it.
Yeah, I was taking it. I was kind of taking it serious. So to an extent, I was having a laugh with my mates, but I was also trying to have good matches as well. I was trying to have a decent match and do cool things. In the same way, Niall would always would do the same as well, and poor old Barry would also be trying to have decent matches. And again, the thing with Baz is Baz actually he has a pretty severe back injury. He got hit by a car back in the day. I'm sorry, excuse me. He got hit by 2 cars back in the day on the same day.
The same
He's
time.
getting all. There was about 5 minutes in between, but he was getting off a bus. He was getting off a bus and he walked around the back of the bus or whichever. He wasn't looking crossing the road and he got hit by 1 car. And he was still pretty much unconscious when he was kind of waking up.
Yeah.
And then got hit with another car.
That is
so
fortunate story I've ever heard.
He is. He's a fairly it always seems to happen to him. But yeah, so his back was in a jock anyway. So he really shouldn't have been doing any of this. I think he actually back in the day he came down and started training in IWW with us as well. But after a couple of weeks he realized he physically he can't. And he's a bigger wrestling fan than I am. He's still a big wrestling fan, but he physically he wouldn't be able to do it. It's unfortunate. It's as much as he wants to.
Yeah, it must be pretty cool for him though to see you doing what you're doing and stuff. Then though.
Yeah. He's often talked to me about that in a lot of ways he gets to kind of live vicariously through me, when I'm doing shows and stuff like that.
You were saying there a minute ago about people showing up and giving them new gimmicks and stuff. Was that your decision? As in, were you were you the booker? We'll say for this.
Basically, yeah.
Champion as well, basically. That means.
Actually, no. I went out my way to make sure that I never got any of our replica WWE belts. I was saying replica. They weren't replica belts. They were Smith's Toys belts. Yeah. That we had an old European Championship, and we just spray painted OWA across it. I think we had another belt. I think we called it like the Battleground Championship. I can't remember what belt it was, but yeah, we had those. But yeah, I would purposely like I'd have main event like your main event matches, and I'd have title matches and stuff, but I'd never win them because I knew enough even back then that like, oh no, like I'm the booker, I can't put the strap on me.
That is taking it seriously.
But like it got to a point where I ended up having a bit of a scrap with your man Darren. Like we had a bit of a falling out because I was getting mad serious about the about the matches. We're there on the Saturday, and we are supposed to be doing a few matches, and a couple of the boys didn't show up.
Yeah.
That I booked. They didn't show up, and Darren was he was just he was having a laugh. He was taking a piss and whatnot, and I kind of lost the plot with him and told him to fuck off. And then a few minutes later, he came back, or rang me and said, "All right, do you wanna have a straightener?" And, I was like, "Ah, fuck off, Darren." But he showed up at my house, so I went around. I went out and grand. All right, we'll have a straightener. So, but a lot of the local little shite bags from around the area, they decided that they'd get involved as well.
Yeah.
And I was a smelly rocker back in the day, so I was the enemy. So yeah, a lot of the young folks started throwing the boot in, and which is it's shit because like if me and Darren were just gonna have a straightener,
Yeah.
so be it. We would have settled it there and then, but yeah, big gang around at my house, and fortunately for me, my eldest brother Noel was home at the time.
Yeah.
He lives over in England. He's a fireman over there. But he was home at the time, and he looks out the window and sees about 8 young fellas throwing the boot into his little brother.
Yeah.
So he fucking storms down the stairs, and Noel's a fairly big lad. So they saw him immediately scarpered, and unfortunately, the only person that was left was the dude I was fighting.
Yeah.
Was Darren. So unfortunately, Noel ended up. He gave him a bit of hiding. I was like, no, 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 no. Like I was fighting him. Don't bash him. I wanted to bash him.
Do you remember what the argument? Like, was it to do with who wins a match, or?
Oh, it was literally it was nothing. Like I was trying to come up with, oh well, such and such isn't showing up, so we'll have to rejig the card.
Okay.
Or whatever, and he was just pestering me on the side, just, oh, we should do this, we should do that. It just kind of, yeah, I was having a bad day, so I just told him to fuck off.
That's the thing as a booker,
like,
they sometimes
stress
get.
But yeah, sure, we've since like we've made up and all. Like I still see him all the time, where we say hello or whatever. We'll have a yap. But yeah, it was a funny day.
So for these things, like it seems like you were proper invested in this, and you're known for, I suppose, taking a bit of a beating in the ring and going and weaving. Back then, what are some of the memories you'd have? Like a lot of people have either one big memory, like one big either embarrassing memory or one big highlight of something mental that they did. What's your one thing when you look back that you go, that was the big thing from backyard wrestling you remember?
I don't know. Like we did loads of stuff. I ended up doing this big this feud with a guy called Eric or Epic.
Yeah.
We did this supposed to be this big storyline where he was having somebody help him that was just like dressed all in black, and he was going to be the Shadow.
The Shadow.
We did a few, yeah. We did a few little bits where we had a match where for some reason we had handcuffs, and I got me hands handcuffed behind my back and was getting bashed and stuff like that. And I think at another point I had my ankle handcuffed to my wrist to make it even more awkward. Well, yeah, we did funny little stuff like that, and then I think Barty had a match against Eric, and they did this spot where they threw he threw Baz into the coal shed. I think it was like a casket match, so you had to win by putting them into the shed.
Yeah.
And then he got up on the top and dropped the big axe in through the hole in the shed. I was supposed to like
Jesus.
take Baz out for a few months. But yeah, we did stuff like that. But like I don't think there was one specific kind of thing. Kind of probably honestly the thing that we remember the most is some of the stupid shit that we'd say, or probably thinking about like the time when I got into a scrap with one of the boys.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think yeah, there was some of the funny little things like Ken and Carmo were having a match one of the days. And, Ken has Carmo upside down. He's got ready for a styles clash.
Yeah.
And one of the like we had a couple of decent matches, like they had only just been brought out, and then there was a really old one, and he's got himself in the styles clash. He's gonna do onto one of the decent mattresses, but then he turns around and looks at the other one and said, "No, I'm gonna go over to this one." But you just hear Carmo underneath just going, "No, not that mattress. That's the pissy mattress." That's one of them that we still quote to this day whenever we're around each other.
That's brilliant. Like most of these stories that I've heard from other people, they seem to be embarrassing. There's actually kind of like, I want to see your one, like the shadow. These are all things like, yeah, is it Peter punishment? Is that the one? I want to see these gimmicks.
Yeah, I really do. I wish we had some footage like this. We did a few years, like every couple of years we'll get together and go, wouldn't it be great if we're able to do it again? We can't do it out my back garden anymore because we got an extension out my ma's back garden, so we've got no more room left. But every now and then we'll get together, and like if we end up someone has a mattress out the back garden, they'll go, lads, there's a mattress there. Just wanna use free this weekend. And like we might get together and do something. We've done it a couple of times where we do like our little reunion shows and stuff like that. And I may have a video of one of them where me and Foxy and brother Barry are all having a couple of matches.
Class.
This was actually a bone of contention for a while because I had actually, me and Foxy had started training by this point.
Yeah.
So if you watch the video, then you can see, yeah, you can see already that you've been learning some stuff. Like that's textbook like IWW training.
Yeah. You're doing wrist locks in the middle of a backyard match, that kind of thing, like.
Exactly.
So I'd love to see if you did a reunion show now, if like wrestling in a garden and some OTT fans stroll by or some Phoenix fans stroll by.
Oh, yeah.
And there's Foxy digging the head off each other on a fridge. That's a visual image that is excellent.
That's it. That was the funny thing about us, like I was saying earlier, like the term backyard was a dirty word back in the day. But like I don't even know, you can barely call what we were doing backyard because like some of these boys were like they're throwing punches and forearms and stuff at each other, but like they're missing each other by about they're like it was a proper social distance fight. Like they weren't touching each other.
It's not like
apart from
in the early noughties when Jackass was big and stuff, and you'd see all when they were releasing videos of backyard wrestling and they were doing like fucking light tubes,
really like fucking punching lumps out of each other. But like we were just having a laugh, really. Like we're all wrestling fans, so everyone wanted to do, the rock bottom and stuff like that. And just wanted to practice wrestling moves, but no one actually wanted to hit each other.
when you started training, did you mention to anyone that you'd been backyard wrestling or outdoor wrestling or?
Yeah, I think it was one of the questions that was asked on the first day. It was like, so do you backyard? Like, yeah, a little bit. And I was like, that's cool. You have to stop though. Not allowed backyard anymore. But yeah, didn't really work.
They didn't know that old ways for life.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, technically I wasn't backyard. I was outdoor wrestling.
Exactly.
Different. That was my loophole.
I think that's like, I love talking to people about backyard wrestling because it's one of these things that's such a bizarre thing in wrestling that people don't really talk about often. And it's so fascinating. We've all done it to some degree.
Yeah.
Some people do it in their sitting rooms, in their bedrooms, whatever, but everyone's done it to some degree.
Yeah, that's it. Like, again, it's that silly thing that, like, wrestling is, like, pretty bizarre in itself.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to be a pro wrestler, like, it's a strange line of work to go into.
Yeah.
But yeah, backyarding is just another strange kind of subsection of it. Well, I don't think I don't feel ashamed or embarrassed about it. Like, fuck it, I was having a laugh with my mates. Like, it was fun. It was something for us to do on the weekend, and it got us all together, and it got us to have a laugh. And we weren't out like getting locked every weekend or anything like that. So, like, we're doing something fun. Trying to say
fun things.
Trying to do something positive.
I gave you a little bit of homework.
Yeah. I've been thinking about this actually.
This is a dream booking scenario. What famous wrestler would you like to have a backyard wrestling match against?
Well, that's the thing. Like, the obvious answer is Jeff Hardy. Like, but I'm pretty sure everybody. Yeah, like, it writes itself. But I don't know. I have a feeling that's gonna be everybody's answer. So I'm gonna.
Not ready yet. So.
Well, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jeff.
Well, yeah, like that's that is the obvious answer, but I think I might go a little bit different. It'd be Frankie Phoenix.
Okay, this is interesting.
Me versus Fran.
You're going more local.
because it'd be fun, and it also, be Fran's kind of only hope of ever getting a booking. So we'd have me as Enigma, and Fran will be like the Riddler. And because I used to do this, I do this move, and it would be kind of part of my taglines or whatever, where I do like the Celtic Cross, but I call it the unanswered question.
Yeah.
And which partly describes my tattoo. For anyone that was wondering, I have that question mark symbol on my shoulder. That's kind of where it stemmed from backyard wrestling.
That's cool.
So we'd have Fran, like, did you ever see like the Sting Black Scorpion storyline, where he's like stalking him and showing up and quoting things? You remember Minnesota? And stuff like that. We'd have Fran like coming on and like busting out riddles and just like, do you remember Tala?
I like
but yeah, there'd be this big mystery, and we'd eventually have some sort of mask, maybe a mask versus hair match or something like that. And so I'd unmask him, and he'd have like the Irish Dragon mask would be on underneath or something like that.
Oh shit! So what's backyard wrestling music? What's the Riddler's backyard wrestling music then?
Oh shit! I didn't think this far.
Could be anything. Normally it's Limp Bizkit or something. So.
He come out to 21 questions by 50 Cent.
And what's the stipulation for the match? For the Enigma versus the Riddler?
Maybe it's a case of like he has some sort of a big secret on me. So if he wins, he gets to reveal the big secret, and if I win, I get to unmask him and find out who this person
Ooh,
is.
I like that one. That one's
Yeah.
good. This is good. I like this so far. And I don't know if I actually put this in it, but do you have a name for the event? I used to be big on
For the for the event. Let's see. I don't know. Like we used it. I think we used to kind of name our little our shows and stuff like that. We'd have like just a backyard brawl, or which was we do like a rumble or a Royal Rumble style match where you'd have to throw or actually no, sorry, that was called the border match, because we'd have our border of weapons and just trash and shit. You'd have to throw everybody over that. I don't know. Yeah, probably just something simple like the backyard brawl.
Backyard brawl. We have Enigma versus the Riddler.
Yeah.
Backyard brawl.
Or
Mask versus.
Oh no, actually, outdoor oblivion.
Outdoor oblivion, I like.
Yeah, because you got to stick with the gotta stick with the marketing of outdoor wrestling, not backyard.
It's not backyard, yeah.
Sure. We had our cool little tagline. Our tagline was OWA. Want to take this outside.
That's brilliant.
And we should have like a little disclaimer underneath it as well. Where it's like, OWA, want to take this outside? We're not backyarders. Just in little brackets underneath it.
Who are ye ashamed of talking to the backyarders?
I don't know. It's just like we got this idea, and again, it's probably from seeing videos of lads like slicing each other up and like hurt each other like really bad. And it's just like, right, well, we don't want to do that. So let's not be associated with that. So like if we ever did get to upload the videos or like put them online or whatever, that we could distinguish between that. Okay, that's backyard wrestling. We're outdoor wrestling. So just make sure that there was a distinction between it.
Clever.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's your dream booking scenario. You brand Enigma versus Riddler in an outdoor oblivion mask versus secret match. That is what people want to see. Somebody book.
I think so.
Book it now.
Yeah. Actually, no. Nobody booked that. Nobody booked that ever. I want to keep holding this over Fran.
So this is it. This is the end of our backyard discussion. Before we go, do you have anything you want to plug? Anything that you're looking for in the future? Your Instagram, your Twitter, whatever. You're not on Instagram. You're the only person in the world not on Instagram.
Yeah. I should probably sort that out. Oh, I'm so fucking lazy. You can follow me on Twitter at Detached. I've got some old T-shirts that I'm trying to get rid of, so I'm gonna try and maybe set up a big cartel. I've said that on every podcast I've done during lockdown, and yet still here I am, big cartel-less. I wouldn't mind, but I've only got 2 types of T-shirts to sell. I don't actually have an awful lot. I just happen to have an abundance of one of them. So
So
wouldn't mind getting rid of them. Yeah. Even if you have it, Deco, buy it again.
Hope this is a shout out to you. You are the man. We love you. Terry Thatcher, thank you so much for joining us on Don't Backyard Wrestle at Home. Cheers, buddy.
Thank you. Cheers.
Right. That's that. Nice one. That was good crack.
That was a lot of fun.
It's a bit fun. Can I get you to give me a little tagline so I can, for when I promote the interview? So like, my name is Terry Thatcher, aka Enigma, or King of Outdoor Wrestling, or something. You're listening to. No, my name is Terry Thatcher, and whatever you want to say. And please don't backyard wrestle at home.
Yeah.
Like a warning. Whenever you're ready.
Mm-hmm. Hello, my name is Terry Thatcher, aka Enigma. And you are watching/listening to Don't Backyard Wrestle at Home.
Perfect. That's the job. All right, I'll stop recording there now. So.